afternoon to you, our viewers. You're welcome to another wonderful episode of the Roundtable, the show where we pick three major topics that are eating up the polity. We analyze them, we dissect them, we bring you views from various angles, and we present the truth to you, our viewers. My name is Shegun Odwanyo. I have two wonderful guests with me in the house this wonderful Thursday afternoon, and together we'll be dissecting, analyzing, and bringing the facts to bear. I have to my left a man returning after a very long time off, I think 2-3 months or thereabouts. But here he is back in our midst. Nehemiah Nwosu, great to have you here.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, very good afternoon to you. It is.
I really missed the show.
We've equally missed you as well, and your fantastic analysis. To my right, it's a regular. No glasses today, no tie, but he's here in the flesh, and of course, his spirit is equally here with us. Mr. Adekunle Aliu.
It's a pleasure.
One of our bosses in the house. Very quickly, we'll be beginning with this topic that we've been talking about for quite a couple of weeks now, and it all started like a joke, but I think a couple of days ago, reality dawned on Nigerians. I mean, that's what we do on this show. We look at some of these challenges or issues that are beginning to get the lights, and we analyze and dissect them. And if you've been following us on this program, we've been talking about the telco tariff hike. Yes, sir, the telecommunications tariff hike that was coming and has now come. A couple of days ago, Nigerians woke up and realized that a particular telecommunications network had increased their charges by over 200%. Because I remember it was 100% that they were asking for before the government, led by the coordinating minister of the economy, Mr. Wale Edun, and of course other organizations and other bodies, met with them and said they should reduce it to 50%. Then NLC came up and said, no, we don't want 50%, reduce it lower than that. And there was a back and forth. Well, they increased it far more than 50%. The reps, House of Representatives, have now said, hey, let it be brought down, even though it is just one telecommunication organization that has increased for now. Others have not followed suit, but there's a possibility they are going to follow suit. Guess what? Just before we stepped into the studios, that telecommunication network released a statement confirming that they had indeed increased by 200%. And Mr. Adekunle Aliu, we were saying it here the other day. Yeah. I remember Mr. Kasike was saying, no, there should be something around it. And you are saying, when we buy pepper in the market, we don't tell them, we don't ask them, we don't argue or anything. We just pay because we understand. But now 50% don't they turn 200%?
Because the multiplier effect, what increases in fuel is going to happen to other goods and services. So we're seeing the effect now. But having said all this, I think the telecommunication industry that just increased their own beyond 200%, which is wrong, very wrong. What your discussion with the federal government was 50%, which you all agreed to. So why exceeding that?
And this has been done
for Sunday, and you're putting yourself in
over 24 hours now. Nothing has been done.
It's wrong. They should reverse. The Senate has said reverse. They should reverse. So maybe we'll go back again to tell, because there was a committee set up by the Labour and government to look at it again. Let's go back and discuss. So go back again and do the discussion so that we can all come to the appropriate pricing. We are not saying you are cheating us. We are saying, no, don't do it like this yet. Let's discuss. Let's see the gray areas and see the advantage or disadvantage of what we're doing. And I think that telecommunication company that has just increased their own beyond 200 or beyond 50% is wrong. They should go back. You cannot, I said it here, I said, we cannot be doing this all over, pushing prices on ourselves. We need innovation. We need things that will make price cheaper as this economy is becoming harder and difficult to cope with. It's going to tell again, because the moment you increase this, it means other services that are using this same medium will also increase their own services too. Take, for instance, we make use of all these data and so on. So, and it's going to tell on our total production and cost.
Yes.
So I think they should look at it critically before going further. It is wrong. The House say reverse. Please reverse, and let's go back to the drawing board and do appropriate discussion.
Go back to dialogue. Nei, we were here on this show for a couple of weeks talking about this, and it felt like, why are people talking about this? But when indeed it became the headline, it was the headline, and it has been choking a lot of people. But now they asked for 100% increment. Then there was a dialogue process that brought it to 50. But somehow the first telecommunication giant that is increasing is lifting it above not 50, not 100, not 150, but about 200%. What is going on?
This issue has been, people have been talking about this issue since last year. It's not just the issue did not start this year.
Yeah.
The issue of the increment has been on since last year. If you remember, I usually say on this show, and I tell people everywhere, when you have a government that things happen before they start thinking, we have a problem. And if you look at the policies that especially this government has had, you will notice that they act before thinking. After acting,
then they think.
When the reality is now done on the people, you now start backtracking and start thinking, okay, how do we now do this the better way? When these issues come, the truth is, MTN is a company. MTN does not own Nigeria. You have a discussion with the government. You are negotiating, and the government is telling you, okay, do it 50%, do it this, and you wake up one morning and
boom.
Who are you? Why would you? You don't. It means that Nigerians are nothing to you people. You don't care. I expect the government to be very harsh on MTN, because you are in a negotiation already. Some persons will say it was the same government that brought about this pain on the people. So why are they being out of the business? They're just trying to do business. Some persons will say that.
They want to do business. They have an agreement with the regulators that look, before we increase prices, we will always come to the table to do this discussion. So there's an agreement. So they just can't wait.
Our regulatory
they are shooting themselves on the foot by doing this.
Bodies in Nigeria. What are they doing? What is their job? Somebody cannot just wake up from the blues and inflict hardship on the people, and you sit and you do nothing. It's painful. I was in a gathering. I was in a gathering 2 days ago, and a gathering of young people, and you see them lamenting. How do they want to go about it? How much is their feeding money? They want to buy data to do their assignments, buy data to do this and do that. And I was sitting there. Where I was sitting, I was like, God,
what is going on?
What is going on?
Okay, for those who do not know, let's just give you the stats. The tariff adjustments are as follows. For example, the 1.5 gigabyte monthly plan, previously priced at 1,000 naira, has now been replaced with a 1.8 gigabyte plan costing 1.5. Okay. Similarly, the 15 gig plan has increased from 4,500 naira to 6,500 naira, while the 20 gig plan costs 7,500 naira, up from 5,500 naira. That's a 2,000 naira increase. That's my own CGPA area. And 1 terabyte for 90 days increased from 150,000 naira to 240,000 naira. 600 gigabyte for 90-day plan, that is for 3 months, has risen from 75,000 naira to 120,000 naira. So it looks like it's a small deal when you are buying 1 gig, because it's just 500 naira. But I remember we were saying here last week that for those who are buying in bulk, I think it was myself, yeah, it was you, that for those buying in bulk, you are going to realize the pain that you are truly going to be getting. Because for those people in my own CGP area getting a 2,000 naira increase, for the big boys who buy 1.5 terabytes for 90 days, the 3 months, it has moved from 150 to 240. So you will feel it.
You have to.
So if you are not feeling it at the 1 gig level and it looks
that is not feeling it in
that extra 2,000 naira, you must feel
there is
it.
nobody that is even they themselves, the service providers, they are feeling it. But we're saying, go to the table, discuss.
Quick one. Does this action not rubbish the government in the sense that there was a deal and then anybody can just misbehave? Does it not show that anybody can misbehave? I'll switch.
As much as they have done that, they are also going to be sanctioned, because I'm sure they know that for doing this there will be sanctions.
But does it not rubbish the government? Does it not make them look like
they believe they have taken their own economic decisions
outside of the agreement?
So you are doing that, but know also for sure that the hammer is going to come. They might have their own strategy, they might have their plans, what they are thinking about as a company, as an entity, that look, let's do it like this so that we can get this, there's a strategy. But unfortunately for them, while doing this, I'm sure they must have also weighed that, look, there's a stick coming. Can we absorb it? So if they can absorb it, okay, let's risk it. Let's hazard it. But unfortunately, they haven't rubbished the government. They are only rubbishing themselves. They are trying to show that they are recalcitrant, they are not cooperative. But if you are cooperative, you go back to the table, you meet labor, you let this thing be open. Give them reasons for the increment so that it can be justified, and labor would understand, look, well, you guys have a reason, it is true. And in this economy, we all agree that, look, there is a reason for increment, but while you are doing it, can we just manage some things out, because we know it's going to be a burden on the people that we don't want. So how are we going to manage it? And that's what government is trying to do. Like, okay, that's why government is okay, labor again, join the discussion, let's start afresh. Why? So that it can be open, you can see the processes. So the government has not done anything wrong by saying, let's start the discussion again. It is the company that is doing something wrong, and they're trying to take the bull by the horn and move forward, as every businessman will do. Every entrepreneur is out there to do what? Maximize profit.
All right. Now, away from the rubbishing of the thing, I mean, does this not show that perhaps this organization is fully confident that they can take this action and go with it and everything? I mean, they are so sure that we'll do this, and they will say, as we say in Nigerian parlance, nothing will happen. Nothing.
Because of this thing that you just said, we come back to the issue of them rubbishing this
action rubbishing the government,
and that is just the truth. Now let us look at the issue of the minimum wage. How long did it take the government and NLC? There was back and forth. Today, the NLC is still complaining that everything that the government promised that they are going to do, after removing subsidy, and they've not done it. So it boils down to how the body language of the government. See, there's a way that a child will act, knowing that he has a father that does not take nonsense. That is exactly how it is. And I can categorically say that they are just rubbishing the government with everything that is really happening. You cannot be in a negotiation with the government of a country about an issue that affects
everybody,
the lives and well-being of the people, and you just wake up one morning and announce an increment. What happens to, so at what level, at what stage did they back out of the negotiations to say no, I think you are not? So they need to tell, even MTN needs to come out and tell us, this is at this stage we were discussing this and they were not accepting this from us. So we just have to come out. They are not giving us a go ahead. They're not giving us a good, green light to say, okay, don't worry, this is what we are going to do for you to calm down. You understand? So this aftermath of summoning House of Rep, this issue has been in the offing for a long time. So what has the House of Rep done? What measures have they taken to look into the issue before it boils out to what it is today? So you will definitely say that this issue is rubbishing the government.
I don't think so.
But only people that
the government doesn't have the grit, to handle issues and be firm.
They are also
one organization has officially increased. We are waiting for others. So what if Segun Odunwayo telecommunication company come out and say, Mr. Aliu company has done so percent. Beautiful. I do 300%. So we wake up tomorrow morning and then we are seeing XYZ telecommunication organization.
So in the long run, in the long run, the agreement you signed with NCCC will now be what's going to be binding.
We did not lead to any outness.
Because when they go back to the table, when things get settled, when you go back to the table, NCC will come with his hammer that, look, we're supposed to have an agreement before you do this.
Is there any hammer or is there an invisible hammer?
Haven't they hammered them before that they had to pay us back?
Yes.
They've done that. They are doing it. It's just that we are too much in a haze we don't see some of these things. We just castigate at one point or the other. But we should look at it very well. NCC will bring its hammer because you need to sit down and discuss. Even federal government itself will tell them, look, you're going too far. This is wrong. So when they begin, but again, like I said, it's a strategy. I know where they are getting at. I don't want to discuss it there. But they need to relax a little bit. And look, come to the table, discuss, prove, justify reasons. And there are many reasons. The people already know that, look, you need to increase. Because like I said the other day, we don't discuss with the person selling biscuits when she's going to increase her price. We don't discuss with the person selling gari when she's going to increase her price. They just increase their prices. So the same thing, but in this case, because of the agreement they have signed, and Labour too came in with something positive and said, look, when you signed the agreement, ab initio, you didn't sign the agreement on data. You didn't sign it. So there are, Labour is already look, you are already making profit. Doing this is going to kill us. So let's discuss again. So go back to the table and discuss with them and justify it. If you can't justify it, you won't get the increment.
All right. 1 hour ago, this telecommunication organization we'll be talking about released a statement on social media, and it goes thus: to our 15 gig digital bundle lovers, you dey vex. We know. We know how upsetting it must have been to suddenly wake up to a 200% increase on your favorite digital bundle. We cannot share several reasons and provide explanations, but all that one na story. We don't cast.
Is that what they said?
We get. I'm reading from the statement.
I want to be sure.
We don't cast. We get it and admit it. Let's just say na mistake. In this love season, don't stay angry with us. Please forgive and forget. You matter die, and we'll never stop showing you how much. Let's continue our relationship. Thank you for understanding. Yours truly, the company name is there. It was released 1 hour ago, and it has gotten well over 200,000 views.
Please share that with me.
And comments on X, and of course, trust Nigerians on X.
Don't fire them.
It's a lot right now as we speak.
In all, so because they love us, they didn't reduce the price.
The comments.
And they say they are going ahead with the increase. Even in the spirit of Valentine, are we having a reduction or not?
If we dedicate 2 or 3 minutes of this show to read some of the comments here. On the 15 gig bundle.
I'm sure there are going to be sanctions.
I mean, there's even a statement, and Nigerians are replying to the love letter. All right, very quickly now, we have to move on to the next topic. And it is, this topic is a hot one. It's a hot one. It's a hot one because in recent days, there have been back and forth. People in the opposition parties, various opposition parties, and persons from the ruling party, specifically the chairman of the APC, ex-governor of Kano State, Dr. Umar Ganduje, Abdullahi Ganduje. And he has been saying that there is no space, there is no vacancy in the villa, and that come 2027, the ruling All Progressives Congress, the APC, will be taking back the villa like they've been there since 2015. Well, about a decade now. The APC came into power a decade ago, and they said in the next 2 years when there will be elections, they'll be taking over, they'll be continuing with what they've been doing over the years, and it is a surety. Of course, many persons have kicked back against that statement. The ACF have kicked back against it, saying that it shouldn't be making such a statement. Of course, opposition parties in themselves are also standing up and saying that no, it's Nigerians that will indeed determine what will happen in 2027, and they will be the ones to, rate the scorecard for the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. I'll be starting with you, Nehemiah. This is not the first time Dr. Ganduje has come out to make such a statement. Every now and then, he's always telling the public, telling the world that, look, this time around, though, in 2027, they are going to be retaining the government house in Abuja. Equally, he will say they will also win states that they've not won before, and all of. Yeah, he's always, he's always making this statement. But this time around, it looks like people always do, or like parties or persons or some stakeholders always do. They are hitting back and saying, Mr. Ganduje, stop saying this thing. Where do you stand?
Well, Ganduje is very, very confident in the system that they employ when it comes to, elections in Nigeria, and he could speak, confidently like that. The other day he was in Anambra to tell the Anambra people that whichever way, whatever they like, that APC is going to take Anambra. So he said this confidently anywhere he goes to, and he confidently says APC is going to take every state in Nigeria. Just imagine somebody thinking that the kind of democracy his political party wants to practice in a particular country is a one-party system democracy, and
perhaps he's playing mind games, like they say in football. He may just be playing mind games to unsettle.
That's exactly
what I said. Majority of Nigerians know that when Ganduje speaks, Ganduje does not play mind games.
Okay.
Ganduje speaks confidently because he knows that they are in power, and he understands the way elections are being won. When you confidently tell the people that whether you like it or not, whatever, there is nothing you can do. We are taking over, and he say it confidently, because we know we can't if we go into this topic and we want to speak about this topic, we spend a lot of time analyzing, talking about antecedents, talking about what they are into and how they run. We can see what is happening at the Edo State Tribunal, that the APC, they won the elections, and we see how things are rolling. And
what's going on at the tribunal?
And they confidently tell you that there is nothing anybody can do about it.
What Ganduje has said, is it true or not?
Is it
true or not?
I am telling you, it's true, because he can confidently tell you that.
I just said perhaps. I was just I was just saying perhaps it was just he's probably playing mind games.
Ganduje is not. Nobody is saying Ganduje is wrong to say whatever. Anybody can say anything.
It's politics. It's
politics. He's telling you that confidently. He's telling you that.
Do you think it is possible? Do you think his statements are possible, and that there's nothing that will change the current dynamics at the moment?
The truth is this, and we must begin to hit it.
Okay.
In the faces of people. Our electoral system is something that we really, really need. You see, somebody can confidently come out and say things like this, because when he knows that there is one way.
No, but I think people say it too. I think even in American politics, people say things.
See, if you say things in countries that you will know that this is coming straight from the heart that realizes that we want to run this. From there are few people in Nigeria that can confidently speak the way Ganduje speaks.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
There are few people that can confidently speak the way Ganduje speaks. Now, there are a lot of people in this country that does not have that trust in our electoral system, especially our electoral umpire. They don't have that trust, because an electoral umpire that will come out today and say this, and come out the other day, at the next day, and say no, that thing we said the previous day.
Which statement was that one?
We have seen INEC. Okay, let's go back to 2023.
Yeah.
INEC will come out and put out words that will breed people's confidence and say, okay, this is where we are going to use the electronic voting machine, and this, we are not going back on this. There are several times that rumors will come out and say INEC is trying to renege on their promise, and they will still come out again to tell
say
people no. We have said this is what we are going to do,
and this is what we are going to do.
But at the end of the day,
the settlement is trying to hack into their servers.
So,
all right, I think that's where you agree. I think I should move on to Mr. Liu now. So the ACF have said, you are not the mouthpiece of the North. You do not represent the voices of the North. You cannot speak on behalf of the entire North and say no, especially as there are divergent opinion, not strong divergent Northern voices coming out these days to say no, especially from the Kaduna region, and some other regions like that.
So let's ask, what did he really say?
Even some Kano voices.
What did he say?
He was saying that it's not time for a Northerner to come there.
Is it the time for the Northerner to come to take over government?
I think it's the Nigerian people that will decide. I don't know.
Exactly. That's what. So everybody who has the right to say what he has to say concerning the government of the country. Those who are going to vote also have the right to vote concerning the government of the country. So what Ganduje has said has no issue. I have no issue with it. What the North Iowa people are saying, I have no issue with it. But again, he has to play this politics right. You think it's a mind game?
So it's my
yes.
I was just suggesting. I didn't know that's what you said.
Game. We have to now begin to tell you so that you can register in your mind that you can't take power from us.
But perhaps
that we know that you can take power from us.
But perhaps the Nigerian people are too scared for such statements to be coming out because they don't trust people. He's just look at his own opinion. He doesn't trust
he has a boss. He has a boss. He has to say this word over and over and over. The president is his boss.
Okay.
He has to say, hold on. He has to say this statement over and over. He has to bring confidence to his boss that look, we are in
working
power.
For you.
We are in game. The people also have to hear us that look, you can't take power from us. One political party once said it that look, we will rule this country for what? 60 years.
Yes.
Where power not taking.
They are in opposition.
So, but it is politics.
So they must keep talking.
They must keep
But what if the talking now that is happening is sending fear to the people?
What kind of fear is he sending? That's why the other people are saying, look, you are not our mouthpiece. As much as they have the right to say that. But again, there's a subtle agreement that, look, 8 years, it will go to south, 8 years, it will go to where? To the north. So this is the period. This government has just spent 4 years. Is it going to spend the next 4 years? The people have to decide. It is the people. So they have to what? Rearrange or realign or respoke or reset it again or reset it over and over so that you can come to the ear of like, look, are you going to vote for them or not? It is the people that have to decide. The other people are saying you are not our mouthpiece. He's a mouthpiece for the other one that you keep quiet. He's a mouthpiece. He's a mouthpiece.
What made him the mouthpiece?
He's speaking. He is also speaking as a northerner. Is he not from Kano? So where is he from? So is he not a leader? If they say the Ariwa leaders together, will Ganduje not be part of the Ariwa? Let's remove APC and politics. If you say, look, let's pick 20 Ariwa leaders, would you not pick Ganduje? You will pick him. He's going to be part of it. So, but again, as much as we have this divide,
why will we pick him?
Ganduje is not even.
Why? He's just a former governor.
In the first place, he's a former governor. Number two, is the leader of the ruling party. Hold on, I say if you are going to pick 20 northern leaders, call it from anywhere. Call it from anywhere. Okay. He has a right to be among the first.
I think 20, because he's the chairman of the
leader of that political party.
Yeah.
So
I think
you now remove as you are going to pick her. You pick one from PDP. You must pick him. So he's speaking also in a way for them that look, we not.
I think that's why they are trying to divorce his statement as okay, you are speaking for the APC, agreed, but you are not speaking for the North.
Even they themselves are saying he's not for the North. Other Northerners will say, look, he's speaking for us. It's just politics. We all have the right to say what we are saying if it's in the goodwill to move the country forward.
No.
Opposition party members.
I think it is the arrogance with which Ganduje speaks.
Some people have said this thing before. Didn't the PDP say they will rule for 60 years? Did they rule for 60 years?
Let's look at it from a lot of people raising concerns. You know, from their own point of view, they are seeing some, even personally, everywhere. A lot of those statements that Ganduje makes. There are several quarters of Nigerians that are feeling so bad about those statements. Because why? It is the arrogance with which he makes these statements that annoys a lot of people. And that is just.
So you're saying he should not be arrogant?
See, no.
If he makes those statements without being arrogant, or if he's being subtle.
The truth is this. Antecedents have shown that even these people does not really care about Nigerian voters.
I beg to disagree with you that they don't care.
Which people?
The politicians, the power players, the state actors, they so much
care about. Is it all politicians you are referring to? The umbrella body of politicians.
That's just the real deal. That is the dissent that Nigerians have towards them. This speaking arrogantly about issues of democracy. Election is, you cannot come out and be, why? Okay, let me tell you. How many times when Ganduje was in the opposition, can he speak arrogantly like this?
I think we should go to what.
He's the leader of the party, so if you don't expect him to speak like this, okay. I don't know what you think.
When he was in the opposition,
so he was not the leader of the party.
Okay, this was what he said.
Yes.
This was what former Governor Ganduje said.
The APC chairman.
The APC chairman. When a leader from the northern part of this country was in office for 8 years, we advocated that the next president in our party should come from the south. Luckily enough, we worked very hard with the cooperation of Nigerians. Our president has come from the south and is going, inshallah, for a second time, come 2027. And after that, it will be the turn of the northern part of this country. Do you think this was arrogant? I'm just asking, this statement. Do you think this statement was arrogant?
I in particular, I had no. He came to Anambra, and
I saw the video from Anambra.
He came to Anambra and he spoke with the people. I saw some videos in some quarters of the meetings he had. You know, those indoor meetings, and he spoke arrogantly, in my opinion. He spoke arrogantly, in my opinion.
Okay, so it's not about this statement, it's about the one in Anambra.
It is not. We knew the way he spoke even before the elections, and we saw what happened.
What happened in Edo?
It is the confidence that
I think it's the confidence. All right, because I wanted to be sure.
Now the thing will be
confidence.
Whatever way you are speaking,
confidence that has not been there all his political career.
Okay.
Now he's the chairman of the party. He gets the confidence. He gets the power.
All right, we have to go on.
But it's for the people to decide. Whatever these guys are saying. Whatever they are saying, whatever anybody is saying,
yeah.
Whatever anybody is saying,
was it the voice?
It is the people that will still decide.
It's time in the opposition. Was it?
It's time for us to, it's time for, one thing I know very much is that, the Nigerian people know their voting power. It's something they've done before. In 2015, for the first time in a very long time, the ruling party lost an election, and Evan did not fall. The opposition party came in. Evan did not fall. Even this last election, if you had the votes of the major opposition parties together, you see that it was head and shoulders above that of the ruling parties. So it shows you something, that indeed votes, when you send them a particular way, they go that particular way. So it's just politics. It's like mathematics. I don't think the voice of any, even if the president comes out today to say there's no vacancy in Aso Rock, I don't think, personally, I don't think, President, you can only cast your vote. You cannot cast the vote of the entire, 15 million Nigerian people that goes out to vote. We just hope the number does not drop in the next 2 years. Very quickly, we move on to the next topic. And perhaps the most controversial political decision in the last 60 days, last month, 13 days in this month, and a couple of days before that, is the tax reform bill. The reform bill that was rejected vehemently by a lot of northern leaders, and they came to the fore. That's one thing I think I like about northern leadership. They will come out and say, this thing, we do not want it. However, it has gotten the tax bill is presently in the reps, and it was modified and all of that, and a lot of things that waters are passed under the bridge. But now it has scaled the second reading. I know there was a lot of, let me do this one for you, you do this one for me. Mr. Oedele, who is in charge of that task force, came out to say all of that after the Northerners rejected it vehemently. But now it has passed the second reading. And when this happens, we know it is gradually coming to fall.
We are going to have that.
Now the tax reform bill, even though there was an editing on the percentage of monies that will be going to
remember I said it here.
Yeah.
I said that bill will see the light of the day.
Somebody said the president wanted it to happen.
It's not about
and if he wanted it to happen, it will happen.
It's about a change in the system. I also said, look, let's even change. Let's have a new style. Let's have a new style of doing this and see if it's not going to work in the next 2 years. We'll now change back. Let's change. So all the grandstanding from the north or whatever they are saying, yes, the president has also taken it into consideration. So, and he said it before, let it pass. Whatever discussion you have, whatever grievances you have, we will discuss it together. And while the thing is at the house, we can make amends. But some people think they are smarter than the president or smarter than the whole body that sat down to look at it. They looked at it well. They did a good man's job. A young man's job was what they did on that. And if you look at it truly, it has to improve. We have to improve our tax system. We have to improve the way we are getting money from people or giving it to the people back. So for me, it's a plus.
The low income earners will be paying low taxes.
No.
The high income earners will be paying according to what they are earning.
If you're even driving a bar bus car, you should pay tax for driving that kind of a expensive car in this country. If they give room, that's the kind of tax I will apply. That look, if I'm driving a Bugatti, I can't be driving a Volkswagen and you're driving a Bugatti. You should pay more tax. For bringing another car out every day, you should pay more tax.
And those that are working should not pay the tax of those people that are using those cars.
What I'm saying is that the tax system is good. This one we can only improve on it. We can only do better on our system. So let it, as it's going through it has passed through the second reader at the House of Rep. Let this the red chambers also do the same thing, and let's put it into operation. Let's see how fruitful, how it's going to lead the country out of the wood if it can. Implementation is the problem. Okay,
it's happening. Mr. Taiwo really had a lot of legwork to do after the official work because it was rejected. So it was meetings and meetings. The president even called the governor, I think in December, to say we are partners in progress. I'm not fighting you. You are CEOs of your state, just like I am CEO. There was a lot of hand washing and eventually the governors had a meeting. Proposed that the VAT revenue, the VAT was the most controversial thing in that bill, should be shared 50% based on equality, 30% based on derivation, and 20% based on population to guarantee a fair distribution of resources. Some people said it was a win-win, especially for the northern governors who said, no, they are taking much from us. Do you think they won in the end? Or do you think, what they wanted, talking about Mr. Taiwo Udele and the federal government, is still not... It's still being gotten here.
When this bill came out, and there was a lot of
Dasbos, local balance,
and the Basbos and everything. I told people, I said, this bill is still going to come to fruition.
Why?
What's going to happen is that there's going to be a lot of compromise, a lot from each part. It's going to be a lot of. This is Nigeria, and they are going to talk. They are going to talk. They are going to discuss, and at the end of the day, they are going to agree. Majority of the parts where the discussions are taking place are going to agree, and they are going to sign this bill into law. The thing is, I've always said this over the years. Nigeria has laws. We have laws. What about the implementation of these laws? That is where we have problem. Now we have regulatory bodies that are not doing their jobs over the years. So the problem is not bringing out these laws. The problem is the implementation of these laws, and that is what I am looking forward to. How are they going to, be strict with these laws, implement these laws to the letter, and let Nigerians benefit from this? Whatever laws you are making, whatever policy you are making, and at the end of the day, Nigerians are not benefiting from these laws and policies. Then
talking about these laws that we have, talking about the new law that is probably going to come into being, talking about the tax reform bill. There's a concern here from somebody in the House of Reps saying that, the biggest thing about this is that we do not have bigger tax evaders. Because when the big boys are paying big taxes, there was a video of Kemi Adeosun recently saying she had to call the billionaires in Nigeria to a meeting. I don't know if you've seen the video that when she was minister, and said, you guys don't pay taxes, so you guys should help us do some of our roads. And she said, one billionaire jokingly said, is it one or some of them said that, you can't really tax us that way. If you think you can hold us, you won't stay too long in this position. She said the person gave her a subtle threat, and I said, okay, fine, let's leave the threats alone. At least do the roads yourself with some of these taxes. So now, here is somebody in the house saying that, what if the big boys that are supposed to be paying the tax eventually evade the tax? Yakim and the mommy Abbas may not be able to evade tax because it gets taken from the source for most of them. But the big boys can evade tax.
Implementation is the problem. As beautiful as that tax bill was originally, I said it there. I said implementation. How are you going to implement these processes?
Can we implement it well? Can we implement it right?
With the way FIRS is going, I think they are trying to get things right. We just have to find a way to do implementing all our policies. If we can implement them appropriately, at least 70%, I think we will get the result we desire. If we can't implement this policy, then that's where we have problems.
What do you say about the president, saying this is what I want about this tax reform bill, and then still trying to negotiate and make things work? How have you seen that process? What do you have to say about that process has gotten the bill here?
No. I think they've done a good thing. we know who the president is. You know, when it comes to having people come to the
negotiation,
table to negotiate, he's good in negotiating. You know that the process of give and take, the President Tinubu is an expert. Is good in that. So that's why I said when the last dose was happening, I said this bill will pass. This bill will be signed into law. What is going to happen is we are going to see a lot of compromises. Discussions will happen. Okay, you come here, tell us
what do you want?
Okay, this please, we need to do this. What do you want? Oh yeah, give me this. Oh yeah, give me that. It is going to happen. And at the end of the day, the bill will see the light
of the day.
My problem, my issue, and that has been an issue with governance in Nigeria for ages, implementation. There are lots of laws and people
with zero implementation
and go scot-free, and that is my fear.
All right, that is fear implementation. I think Mr. Liu too corroborates with his ideas about implementation. Getting things done in Nigeria is not a problem. Theory is not a problem in Nigeria. The practicability of some of these things is where we indeed run into cumbersome waters. Thank you very much for being a part of this show. I mean, 40 minutes just flying around like 40 seconds. Unfortunately, we have to leave. A very big thank you to Nehemiah, who is back in the studios. And you could feel some of his, his words, and Mr. Adekunle Aliyu, as usual, giving us from his knowledge bank and ensuring that we are all filled. A very big thank you to you, our viewers, for being a part of this show, because like I always say, if you are not there, we'll definitely not be here. The weekend begins tomorrow, and it's a weekend of love. Stay out of trouble. I remember that a wrong deal signed can lead to you having a sweet November. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. God bless you.